Our prototype takes Yelp's interface and further improves it by designing an additional workflow that supports group decision-making. Specifically, the interface takes users' dietary requirements, preferences, and opinions into account and reserves a fair restaurant for the user's event. Our prototype focused on making restaurants' preferences input and the wheel animation perform vertically as they are our major evaluation goals. Do the users understand that the prototype produces a fair result? Does the interface have a solution for users who cannot put in their preferences? Does the initial visual presentation of suggestions and preferences help users input their requirements, preferences, and understand what they need to input? This interface is a mobile interface, so we added the phone image and the hand to visually show that this is a mobile interface. The home screen has two choices and a profile page, which keeps record of your personal dietary requirements, and these will be automatically inputted for returning users. This is an example of a user profile. To start our prototype, user needs to choose either create or view my event. Our prototype does not contain complete workflow of my event, as this is only a minor subset of the workflow of creating an event. Once you choose to create, the configuration screen will pop up. Here you can enter the title, time, number of people, location, and the other extra descriptions of the event. User can do this by typing in the inputs or clicking from drop-down menu. Once the number of people is 2 or more, the invite button will automatically pop up where the users can invite people according to the number of people set. This allows the users to not forget to invite their friends by showing the button in sync with configuring the number of people of the event. One of the limitations of the prototype is that the invitees are not automatically updated when the users invite them, and the user cannot add or delete the preset invitees. However, this does not affect the tasks that the users are required to do, so it does not limit important parts of the workflow. Once the user has finished the configurations, the preferences and the requirements screen will pop up. Since keeping users' dietary restrictions to generate the restaurant is very important, the interface allows users to input as many as possible. On the other hand, the preferences are limited to 3 choices to keep the results fair and eliminate abusers. If the preset inputs do not match the user's opinions, there are see more options where the users can actually type in keywords for other choices. Although picking preferences and requirements work vertically, the interface does not support unique preferences. This was limited to keep the inputs universal in order to generate better and fairer restaurants. If there's an invitee who doesn't use the interface, our placeholder function replaces him or her to make sure everyone's preferences or requirements are inputted for fair results. The admin hub shows who has finished inputting and who has not. The simple symbols to represent the status was chosen to keep the interface as simple and learnable as possible. Once reasonable amount of time has passed, admin can move on to the voting stage where none of the participants are allowed to change their inputs for preferences anymore. In order to notify the users about this, the interface pops up a warning screen that briefly explains that not all users have not finished inputting. In the voting stage, a mini guide pops up to give a quick tutorial about the voting stage. Each restaurant cards contain brief and compact information that will let the users decide on voting yes or no. Small information has been taken out to ensure the efficiency of the interface. This prototype will always generate 3 predetermined restaurants, and this was forced to let our group control winning and losing situations for the evaluations. After the user finishes voting, the review screen pops up to show how they voted. The users can always go back to edit their votes. Once the user has finished voting, the lobby will pop up again, showing whether the invitees has finished voting or not. If the admin starts the Wheel of Fortune, similar disclaimer window will pop up to remind that some people may have not finished voting. The Wheel of Fortune will always show a pre-generated wheel with the same result. This was done to let our group control the situations for evaluations. The portion of each restaurant of the wheel is proportional to the number of positive votes the users made. This represents how all of the users' votes were taken into account for the results. Once the result is shown, the interface automatically reserves the restaurant for the group.